All right, everybody, we're back with a brand new Cabral Concept. Today, we're talking about sardine fasting, and is it actually the biggest breakthrough we've seen in years in nutrition for longevity? Let's break it down here today. Maybe you haven't heard about it, but it is catching on, and it's essentially eating nothing but anywhere between 2 and 4 cans of sardines per day. That's it. The sardines could be packed in olive oil or maybe just packed in water. You can do the skinless with the bones. There's different interpretations of it. And before we get started, I just want to say is that I've been doing this podcast now for about 10 years, and I've talked about for years the many benefits of sardines. They're one of the absolute best forms of protein that you can get. And it enables you to boost your omega-3 levels even without supplementation if you're eating them 4+ days per week. So I've seen that in my practice from the very beginning. Around 2010, I started testing people's omega-3 levels, and it was only really the people eating sardines most days a week for lunch that were able to get the same levels as supplementation. However, like anything, if something is good, we try to overdo it in our Western-based mindset, and now we're eating nothing but sardines. Here's the thing. Sardines are not a form of true fasting. So it does not go together whatsoever. It does not improve your fasting-based markers if that is what you're looking for, and I want to break that down right now. Obviously, all of it based on the science. Why do I care? Because I work with so many people that are using fasting for specific cancer-based reasons, etc., and they're being led down the wrong path. And that is because mTOR cannot stay low when you are eating anywhere from maybe 40 or 50 to 100 plus grams of protein and fat per day. It's simply not the case. And the reason is that these foods are very high. So sardines are high in leucine and branched-chain amino acids. So when we're increasing the branched-chain amino acids and specifically leucine, we're increasing mTOR. mTOR is the exact opposite of being in a fast. A fast means that you're staying in low levels of mTOR and actually increasing something called AMPK and autophagy, okay? There are anywhere between 15 and 20 plus grams of protein per can of sardines, depending on the size of the can of sardines, and about that or so in fat. So when we look at this, we say, all right, a meal of 20 plus grams of protein 2 to 4 times per day is not going to keep someone in low AMPK and low mTOR, and definitely not in the state of autophagy. So if you're looking for your body to clean house, literally to go in and use the Nobel Prize winning information from 2016, 10 years ago. I wrote about this when it came out in the Rain Barrel Effect. We know that you need to be in a true fasted state. Now, since then, we've actually found through Dr. Walter Longo's work called the fasting-mimicking diet that you could be on a very low mTOR diet, which is basically just plant food. It's like salad with olive oil. That's it, like veggies. How we do it in our practice is 3 cups essentially of vegetables, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 3 meals per day for 5 days. Now, again, you don't need to do this, but people that are in cancer support or doing things like this every month to every 6 weeks, that has actually been clinically proven. Why? Because it's the exact opposite of the sardine diet. It's the exact opposite. It mimics fasting because it keeps mTOR levels low. That's the anabolism. That's the building up of the body, right? You want that if you want to put on muscle, right? You want to keep mTOR high. I totally get it. One of the people who's a proponent of sardine fasting, it's not like they're not super smart, not like they're not knowledgeable, but they're big on body transformation. They're big on keeping a lot of muscle in their body, which is why they do it, right? But again, it's to keep anabolism high. It's to keep your leucine and branched-chain amino acids high. That's the exact opposite of what we want when we're looking for the body to clean house. There can't be fuel for the body to clean house, right? So when you're only consuming olive oil and like broccoli, cruciferous veggies or whatever, a few days a week, that does keep your body in a catabolic state, a breakdown state where the body's looking for real fuel. Because although there's a lot of micronutrients in your green veggies and your olive oil, there's not a lot of anabolic-based nutrients, protein, right? And we need that to replenish and rebuild the body. Well, a true fast, you're not looking to rebuild the body during that time. And that's why it's a fast. That's why it's truly considered a fast. So there's just a few more things that I want to share with you. It's also not a fast because you are not slowing or shutting down digestion. It's actually very difficult to break down true sardines. So true sardines are higher in purines. I don't want to go deep down the rabbit hole, but if you're someone with histamine issues, like sardines with the skin on, they're just not going to be the best thing for you. They're a great food, but not every food is right for every individual, right? I mean, that's a big part of integrative health is like, yeah, we're going to use the best of everything, but it has to be bio-individualized. In my new book, Personomics, I literally detail this as like, this is great for this individual, but not for this person, right? So although I love the benefits, the omegas of sardines, when I was in my late 20s, really healing and started incorporating into my diet, I would get itchy eyes, I would get itchy skin. Why? Higher in histamines. That's why, right? So it wasn't best for me at that time. Now, many years later, can I eat them? Yes. Don't go overboard, but yes. And they can be a great protein source. All right. Let's move on from that though, because when you put protein in your body, you are out of a fasted state. That's it. Like simply put, scientifically, you are no longer fasting for at least the next 3 to 6 hours when you're putting in 20 to 30 grams of protein and at least that in, olive oil or whatever the fat might be. Okay. Really important. High amino acids. So when you're on a fasting mimicking diet or you do our Equal Life Functional Medicine Detox, are you high in amino acids, high in protein? No, on purpose you're not. Literally like on purpose, it's kept low. High maybe micronutrients, very low in amino acids and protein. So is this a bodybuilding type fast? No, it's the direct opposite of that, right? You have plenty of time to put on muscle afterwards, before. It's not gonna hurt that. You should go through periods of not always wanting to build up the body. We actually want to go to a state where the body's looking for protein. So what it does is it breaks down old immune cells. It breaks down old damaged cells and tissue. It breaks down cancer cells. It will not do that to the same degree, at least, when you're taking in a lot of amino acids, and amino acids come mainly from protein, right? And animal-based protein. And I have nothing against meat, fish, eggs, no issue at all. But again, I just want to state this clearly, especially for all the people who are thinking that this might be okay for their cancer-based support. It's not. It is not. This is, again, sardines are high in methionine, high in leucine, and essential amino acids. That means it's great for your body to repair and rebuild, but not during a fast. Okay, so what is this really? Really what it is another way for people who are more concerned with body transformation, ultimately, to use something that is maybe marketable that will help people lose weight. And yes, they will feel good. Why? They're on a massively hypocaloric diet, right? So let's just say you're getting 70 grams of protein from all of your sardines from the day. All right, so 70 times 4 is gonna be about 280. So let's just say you're getting about the same amount from fat. So about 70 grams of fat, we'll multiply that by 9, we get 630, right? So 630 plus, what do we say, about 280? Yeah, we're at about 1,000 calories for the day. So really it's just like a lower calorie day. Far from fasting, right? Even if you were to take that down to 800 calories, sure, it's a lower calorie day. I talked about that before, on up and down days, 400 to 800 calorie days in a week, you could do that. We just do a 24-hour typically fast for the week, but that's essentially what it is. It is a lower calorie day. You are hypocaloric. You are not having any carbs. Yes, you are then balancing insulin to a greater degree. Sardines are an amazing anti-inflammatory. Again, it's one of our favorite foods to include in people's diets. So it's not like I'm not saying they're not great. I've talked about it for years. I think I've never talked about anything more than sardines and wild blueberries, right? So and olive oil. Okay, so those are my 3 foods that I tell everyone, if you can't eat them, you want to eat them. They're that great for you. But I actually want to keep the science, and I want to keep the marketing out of it. Our sardine fast is not a fast. It is a low-calorie day that's going to help with bringing more anti-inflammatory nutrition into your diet. It's got a good amount of good quality protein. It's going to be hypocaloric, and you're probably going to stay balanced blood sugar through the day. So there's no doubt about it. It's probably a better alternative for people looking to really concerned about their muscle and not wanting to lose any of that. Okay, but again, not true fasting, just hypocaloric, good anti-inflammatory. And the issue is it just doesn't lower mTOR. It doesn't lower IGF-1. It's not going to increase autophagy. It's not going to increase AMPK. And the digestion is still turned on. So that's essentially what I wanted to share from a science-based perspective. Other people can have their perspective, and that's okay. What I would say is this: sardines are a great food. Include them with your lunch or your dinner as many days a week as you feel comfortable. Anchovies, mackerel, wild salmon, and wild trout. Those are all great, low mercury, high omega-3 foods. Amazing. But when you're doing a fast, do a fast, right? Do the Equal Life Functional Medicine detox for 7 days or for the 21 days, or do a water fast for 24 hours, like we do from Sunday night to often Monday night, or do Walter Longo's fasting-mimicking diet. I have a podcast on that to tell you exactly how we do it. It's all food-based. That's at stephencabral.com/3646. But when you do a fast, do a fast. When you want to enjoy sardines for their great anti-inflammatory benefits and omega-3s, eat sardines. Hopefully this was helpful. Do feel free to share the show with anyone you believe it could serve. And my show notes and additional links will be at stephencabral.com/3646. Take care.